you know how like they're busting all those people from the January 6th stuff. It's like every week they're like sending people away for half a decade. The one guy, I think his sentencing guideline was 12 to 18 months roughly. And he was like, no way, I'm gonna try a jury. And the jury gave him like 4.5 years. So they're all going away for, and I was thinking, like, if you knew someone who was there and you could turn them in, but you weren't gonna, like, you'd have a lot of leverage over that person. And I kind of want to see a TV show about that where like you like make the person be your butler, like or something silly like
Oh
that,
my
like from
God.
Seinfeld. And anytime they're like, I'm not doing the dishes, he's like, well, what was Miss Pelosi's number again? All right. But could you at least pre-wash them? It's like, yeah, maybe they have that. I want to see that play out as a sitcom. He's a January 6th like rioter, and he's got to keep that.
I love it. I love it. He has to work and make the poor guy wear a little maid outfit while he scrubs the dishes. Oh, you don't like it? We can send you to prison.
That's a different show.
There was one recently that guy who put his feet on Pelosi's desk and wrote her some, like, I think he called her a bitch in writing so that when she came back to the desk, she'd find the note. He had a plea deal of 5 years and he turned it down, taking his chances, which I might have too, right? Like 5 years is a lot. That'll alter your life. And it's coming back and now he's facing 30. It's not locked in yet. And I'm like, I don't know what to think about that. It's complicated for me. 30 years seems like a really long time.
Yeah.
But it was a coup attempt to overthrow the government. And, somebody died. And like,
look, I get that it had all the, I guess if it's a duck, quack like a duck, walk like a duck, all that. I guess I get why you call it a coup, but it's almost giving them too much credit in order to hit them with the maximum penalties, right? Calling it a coup. Because when I think coup
attempt,
I think that like the Minister of Defense has been getting all the generals together and he's been putting a word in their ear like, look, the supreme leader's not so supreme these days. He's a fucking combo meal at best. We got to talk about this. And look, I've talked to the transportation secretary. He's open to some of our ideas. If we put forward a unite, that's a coup. That's when I get the key holders in line, and then I walk in the room and take out El Presidente myself, and I walk out of that room and I say, I have freed our people, liberty, and then I take over. Then the same fucking building with the same fucking rules and laws and guns and shit. That's a coup. What those jackasses did was go like MTV Redneck on that big white building that I'm supposed to respect.
Stormed the Congress building. They were looking for Mike Pence.
Big white building.
Mike Pence, baby.
All right, I made a mistake. They were looking for Mike Pence. They were looking for Nancy Pelosi. They were chanting they were going to kill her. I don't know what would have happened if they actually found those people, but they would have
killed those people. 100% chance. And it would have been Republicans too. They were people out there hunting for Ted Cruz and all sorts of people.
So I agree with you.
The coup, I think, was on the government end of it and less on the redneck storming the Capitol end with all the fake electors. And from what I read of the January 6th report, the biggest brained idea I saw is, I'm sure most of you are familiar with the fact that they organized fake electors and tried to send people to Washington saying they were the electors for Arizona or Nevada or whatever, when they were not, and that's illegal. And the idea was that they would do that and get all these fake electors into the electoral count and force Mike Pence to say that there is fraud here and we have to stop the count, which would then bump the timeline further for more election shenanigans.
That doesn't seem like it would work. What were they like? Is some guy going to show up and be like, I'm the Arizona elector? And they're like, all right, Mr. Stevens, can I just see that ID? And they're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like, that's about how well it went.
Well, it was like, the Arizona government is actually Republican. And if they had been in the bag for Trump and hired their own electors, then they would have voted for Trump in the electoral count and he would have won. But it turned out that none of the governments, even Georgia and Arizona and like the Republican ones, went for that scheme of alternative kind of fake electors.
Yeah, turns out a lot of them actually are like decent Americans who are like, no, I'm not going to throw away the Constitution and make Donald Trump our emperor. Fuck you.
But amongst that list of decent Americans doesn't include Donald Trump.
No, it doesn't, because he's a winner. Okay, at all costs.
Touche. Yeah,
mostly a winner.
The greatest winner of all time. Look, how many, we always talk about how many shots Michael Jordan missed and blah, 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 right? Like we're mad because Donald didn't win every time. like how many times do we have to get to the moon, right?
Yeah.
We tried one time, didn't make it. Nobody's like ragging on Apollo 13, are they? Do they just bring that up all the time?
His picks didn't win the midterms.
They got asshole to do that. you didn't even make it that time.
Yeah, and those pictures suck.
Yeah,
like,
but
of the moon.
I went.
I went.